NFC East on Sunday, so this week's game against the Giants is meaningless. But Jerry Jones was asked if the starters will rest on Sunday, and Jerry said they'll absolutely play. He added, quote, "We've got work to do. I think we'll all agree we don't want to go into the playoffs with loose ends." This morning, Jerry did say that Zach Martin will rest against the Giants. So, Shannon, what would you do if you're the Giants?
For me, Skip, I wouldn't play Tyron Smith, considering that he's been dealing with injuries, especially the last half of the season. Zach Martin, obviously, I wouldn't play him because he got nicked and had to leave a game a couple of weeks ago. And I wouldn't play Zeke. The running back position is the one position, Skip. I think that's probably easiest position to pick right up where you left off from. Dak, I would play for a half. Because, Skip, I don't want him to go an entire game. Because, and I get it. You can't sit everybody, Skip. You only have 46 guys. So you can't sit your entire offensive line, your entire, wide receiver core, all your defense. Somebody has to play. You have to field a team. And I get it. But those three guys I would definitely sit. I would play Dak Prescott at half. Defense, I'm sorry. You don't have enough guys over there. So I'm going to play those guys as long as I can, then I'm going to start getting those guys out. But that's what I would do because I do believe Dak needs to have a rhythm going into the playoffs. And so I would not sit him for an entire game. But I get the landscape because you said if you're going to take Tyron Smith out, you're going to take Zach Martin out. You want to put those guys, he's been sacked 52 times with those guys in there. Are you sure? But I still would play him some, Skip. I would.
You would, because I'm not saying you're wishing injury on him, but it wouldn't bother you a bit if he got nicked or knacked?
No, I want him healthy because then y'all don't want you to have no excuses because I know you the king of excuses.
You'll be sitting there with your little voodoo doll.
Nah, Skip, I'm not like that.
I'm knocking on wood.
Hope not.
I am horrified by this whole conversation. I am horrified by what my owner / general manager / president of the Dallas Cowboys continued to say today on his radio show in Dallas. He continues to say what Jenny just said, no loose ends, no, as he said, dangling participles. Meaning I want some momentum going into that first playoff game because I'm sure he's harking back to what happened in 2016, Dak and Zeke's rookie years, when, remember, at the end of the year, they had not only won the East, they had won a bye, right?
They had the number one seed throughout the playoffs.
They did. So they went to Philly, and they just Dak played, barely played. Ruined his QBR for the year, dropped him to third, but he barely played. Nobody else really played, and they felt like they blew it by not playing in Philly because effectively they took 3 weeks off before Aaron Rodgers visited Jerry World. And what happened in that game? Were they rusty? Did rest lead to rust? Because they came out and started really flat and slowly, and all of a sudden you looked up and it was 21-3 Aaron Rodgers. And once they got their feet on the ground and under them, even the rookies came to play, and they roared back and tied the game at 31-all before Mason Crossbar hit two intercontinental field goals.
Routine field goal.
56 yards and 51 yards to beat them. But the point is, Jerry's hanging on 2016. This is completely different. They don't have a bye. They have a first-round playoff game at home. And so I want nobody to play at the Giants. I want nobody.
You want everybody to rest.
I agree with you. Somebody has to get through the football game because you're just obligated.
Right.
Because they have season ticket holders and the Giants, and they've been paid all this money for the rights to the game to televise it. But I don't care who plays. I don't want Zach Martin to play, and he's the only one Jerry ruled out. I don't want Ty Smith to play, and he's ruled in. There's no way Zeke should even dress for the game. And I got to tell you, I don't want my quarterback out there without 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. And remember, Cole Beasley's had this lingering foot issue where he's limping off every other play. I don't want him to play. So I don't want Dak out there unprotected, running for his life, trying to throw it to somebody else other than Cole Beasley.
Well, Skip, look, I understand and I get that the Cowboys are far from a perfect football team. But I think if you get an opportunity to get some rest, you take it. And this is what this opportunity is. But like I said, these 3 guys, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, and Zeke, there's no way they're sitting the field. I get them some work this week, Skip, and, to keep their conditioning up because you don't want to give them 2 weeks off with no conditioning. To keep their conditioning up, but there's no way they're seeing the field.
Okay.
Dak, you get a half.
Okay. This isn't just some opponent that they never play. These are division rivals. They don't like the Dallas Cowboys in New York. and they would love to spoil their season by knocking somebody out for the first-round playoff game. Not that they would ever voice that, but you know it's in the back of their minds. So to me, it's the risk-reward. I get it if you want Dak to have some target practice, but would the Giants agree to play 7-on-7 for the game, you know, with no pass rush?
Nope.
Could Dak wear a red jersey for the game so he's off limits? He cannot.
Only.
So if the Giants would go along with that, I'd be good because it would be nice if he and Amari could just get a little pitch and catch practice.
The Giants might, but the NFL won't.
The NFL won't, okay? Seriously, the Giants might be home for the holidays. They might just be done, right?
Yeah, they are done. They had an opportunity last week, and I think they spit the bit when they had Indy down by a lot, and Indy was able to come back to win.
So, did I love it that 2 Sundays ago they went up to Indy and laid the biggest goose egg you could lay, 23-0? I did not love it. It was a dinosaur egg. I'll give you whatever egg you want. It got laid.
Big egg.
And again, I don't love that late in the year. So, just hypothetically, in a vacuum, would I like them to have a practice game to feel better about themselves? I would, but the game is too dangerous. The risk is too high, especially for the quarterback. If about half the offensive starters aren't going to play, then why would you have him out there? I don't even want Amari out there. I don't know. I just don't want it. It doesn't feel right.
So in other words, so you feel comfortable with where you are as a team?
You know what? That's a great question. I don't. In a vacuum, if you could guarantee me right now nobody would get hurt.
Nah, you know you can't do that.
Okay, well, if you could, but you can't. But if you could guarantee me, I'd be fine. But if Jerry Jones is going to play Dak Prescott for, let's say, a half, you wouldn't want to be around me while I'm watching that game because I'm going to be on pins, needles.
Oh, so that means Connor Williams.
Because I'm going to think of the pins you're sticking in your voodoo doll.
Connor Williams going to be at right guard, huh?
Okay, yeah, that'll be good. It'll be like a turnstile at right guard.
Don't do that, Skip.
Well, it will be. I don't want Dak to be under siege all day. I mean, what's it worth? What's the risk reward? It's just too.
Dangerous.
The risk is way higher than the reward.
Jerry said he don't want to go into to the playoff with participles.
Dangling participle.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm
really
not sure Jerry knows what.
I don't think
either.
No, I don't think he used it. Look, they're the English term participle. But I don't think Jerry used it in the correct context.
Okay. So does he want to cross his T's and dot more of his I's? I get that. That they weren't great against Tampa. The defense wasn't great against Tampa. The offense wasn't always great against Tampa. The offense didn't have the ball very much. Would I like to correct all those things? Would I like to undangle the participles? I would, but it's too late. Now you got to dance with who brung you, right? And who brung you is what you just saw against Tampa. So now you take your
defense.
You get your bye at New York. You try to get as healthy as you can get, because I don't think Zach Martin's going to get healthy till he gets his knee cleaned up.
Right.
Sounds like.
Right.
And you can't get it cleaned up surgically now.
Right.
So you just let it rest. You
might
let it be.
It all depends on how serious it is, because we used to have guys, Mark Loreth and Tommy Naylor, they would have surgery on Monday and they play on Sunday.
Well, you can get your knee scoped.
Yeah. It all depends. Like I said, it's the serious nature of what actually going on with Martin's knee.
You know what? If it's just scopable, you should have done it today.
Yeah,
right?
You should have done it Monday.
Or Monday. Yeah, no, that's true.
But how hard are these situations, Shannon? If you realize that you don't want to get hurt, you aren't playing for anything, is it almost harder to play? Is it harder to rest? What?
It is, because then you get guys thinking like, oh, I guess I'm not important because I got to play.
Yep.
We made the mistake in 96, Skip. We had it clinched. We didn't play the last game of the season. We played Jacksonville. We go home.
Yep.
In 98, we have everything clinched. Mike said, you played in the last game. And so, different style. You never know.
Do you remember Leroy Jordan, the great middle linebacker of the Dallas Cowboys? He once told me very early in my career, the harder I play, the healthier I stay.
Right.
And where you get hurt is when you go half speed.
Yep.
Bad things happen when you go three-quarter speed. And you can't tell me if you put the starting defense out there against the Giants that they're going to go all out.
Yep.
And they're kind of like protect. Oh, God, I got hurt. How did that happen?
Leroy Jordan, the only man to win the Super Bowl on the losing squad.
Say that again?
Leroy Jordan.
Yeah, what about
He won the Super Bowl on the losing squad.
You mean won the MVP?
MVP.
Oh, no, I think it was Chuck Howley.
Was it Chuck Howley or Leroy Jordan?
Chuck Howley won the
MVP.
MVP.
You're right. On the losing squad.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So how good must he have played
I don't know.
In the Super Bowl?
I think that was when the votes had to be in after 3 quarters or something. I don't know.
You're going to be pacing on Sunday.
Pacing. I'm not sure I can watch it.
Look,
hey,
the Giants,
I'm going to be out of my mind.
You know what, Skip? Maybe if the Giants, like if you're playing someone that wasn't a division opponent, but they schedule games like this because they want them to mean something. Because normally if you're playing someone that's not in your division, you call it that run lock. Hey, bro.
You know what?
You're not trying to get hurt.
Different, right?
Who has the buck stops on whose desk right now? Is it still on Jerry's or is it Stephen Jones, the son?
Jerry.
Because I think
Jerry does spoken.
But Stephen would have a little more wisdom here to me, like be a little more rational. Because Jerry let it spill out on Sunday night. Now he's back to way reinforcing. And really, is he going to crack down on Jason Garrett and say you got to play everybody?
But Skip, but here's the thing though, because you're only going to dress like. Well, I guess you could theoretically call up somebody from the practice squad.
You could,
but you only have X amount of offensive linemen.
I got it.
So if you sit Dak, you sit Zeke, you sit Tyler Smith, you sit Zach Martin. Okay, who are you going to sit on the defense? You don't have that many backups.
I volunteer. I will play on Sunday. I will play if he'd suit me up.
They're going to give him 100 points.
I think that you're going to be okay Sunday pacing around. We need to install a camera, a skip cam.
It doesn't matter.
Listen, I'm psycho.
Maybe we don't.
Ask Ernestine. She won't even come in.
How about this? Skip, I'm going to make it easy for you. It doesn't matter. You're going home wild card weekend.
Okay, Shannon. Too soon. Let's let him get through Sunday.
5 cases on it.
We've got Michael Rappaport here, and that means this is going to get interesting. Is he going to jump on the Lakers bandwagon?
Really good.
His team won 4 games this year, and he out here talking football.